Open that. Grab that. Get the sorghum dust away. All right, let's climb up. How's this screen looking? Oh, pretty good. All right, get that. Slid open. All right, let's run through some checks real quick. Here we go. Main hydraulic oil is nowhere on those sight glasses. All right, next thing we're gonna check engine oil right here. Let's see. Oh yeah, running a couple gallons low, but I think she'll work. What is that? I think that's water. Let's have a look at our coolant level. Open. Does this cap come off? I know it comes off. Just figuring out how it comes off. Oh, there we go. Ooh, yeah, we're perfectly full on that. Check our hydrostat oil level, and that's where is it even at? Yeah, all right. That one actually looks pretty good. Put her back. All right, let's jump back down, shut everything. Do that, and don't break a leg going down this. We made it. All right, grab that. In and down and. All right, let's get her fired up. Here we go. Watch out. Do like that. Oh. Shut that. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness. What a beautiful day, you guys. This is insane. Look at this. Clear skies, all these rain clouds are moving out, and in front of us we got nothing but open clear sky today. Oh man, you guys, welcome back to another video. So today, as you can see, we're in the combine again, and we have officially started sorghum harvest. So yesterday I actually came out here and harvested about 5-10 acres, and that was basically all I got done yesterday. We kind of had a late start in getting everything ready, but today is the day. We have 3 fields that we've planted, and totaling about 60 acres, maybe a little bit more. And so we got to cut about 50 acres today, and that may be very possible. We might be able to do it if everything goes right. Now ideally we would love to be done cutting all of our sorghum today, because right now we have clear skies all day. It blew all night long, and it's still blowing again this morning, which means there's no dew on the ground, and we can actually start cutting right away. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and the beginning of November, which usually there's dew or some sort of frost. Not today. We've got a great morning to start cutting sorghum, so let's go ahead and get after it. So we'll go ahead, turn the thrasher on like that, kind of listen for any weird sounds, you know, any sort of bearings or metal on metal sounds. We don't want to hear any of that. That would be bad news. I don't hear any, so let's go ahead and give her full throttle. Still, everything sounds normal, so we'll turn the head on. Just like that. I know you probably can't even see that, but believe me, I turned it on. All right, let's go ahead and get it into first gear. Drop the head, and here we go. I just want to walk out here and just see how tall this sorghum is. Watch out. Because down in the draw here is like the nicest part of the field here, and Wow, yeah, look at this. Literally, we'll walk in here a little bit. Look at that. It's like, well, this one is basically almost 5 feet tall in some areas. Like I said, the bottom of this draw looks super nice. There's hardly any weeds in this field, and also in the other field we're gonna harvest right over there. It looks super clean and nice like this one. I will say the hilltops are a little bit thin. They're a little bit shorter, maybe a foot or two shorter actually than the bottoms and the draws here. And you know, that's due to lack of fertility on those hillsides. But all in all, let me open that. These two fields look incredible, like I said. Now the third and final field, and I don't know if we're gonna actually get to it today. That one, it's a different story. That one is just a total disaster. Whole bunch of weeds. There's pigweed, water grass, barnyard grass. Guys, jump down, climb up. Oh, get back in the cab. Man, it is way too nice of day out there. All right, you guys, so this sorghum is coming in at about 20% moisture, and what we have to be is around 12% moisture, no higher than 14%, because over 14% it's possible that the sorghum will spoil or rot because there's too high of a moisture. So we're really shooting for about 12% moisture on this, and so with that we have to run all of the sorghum through the grain dryer, and that will probably slow us down a little bit today because I don't think the dryer will be able to keep up with us combining the sorghum. So we'll just see how it goes, but like I said, we have to run it through the dryer or else we'll have a big problem with moisture and mold and rot and bugs and all that sort of thing. So that's that. So we're up on the hill right now, or on this hillside, and it might be hard to tell with the camera, but it definitely is shorter sorghum. Like I said, that's due to lack of fertility on these hillsides, but you got to keep in mind this is all certified organic sorghum, so there's been no sort of synthetic inputs put on this field at all. And I will say, you know, the weed pressure out here is like, it's next to none. There's like, it's almost zero weed pressure, which is really nice. But we just need to get our fertility up on these hillsides and hilltops up here, because I know the sorghum can perform better because of what we see down in the draws here, with it being almost 5 feet tall. And forward a little bit. Oh, shut it off, shut it off, shut it off. Wow. Perfect. All right, bring that in. There we go. All right, let's bring her around this way. Around the truck. Don't smash the truck with the combine. Yeah, that looks perfect. Didn't even lose one kernel. All right, check it out. We got just one more pass right here. I think it might actually be 2 passes, but then we're done with this field. All right, you guys, we are currently moving out to the second field right now, and it looks like we need to get this pivot. Hold up. Oh, I don't want to hit the well right there. We got to get this pivot moved out to the edge of the field. And actually, you know what? Thinking about it now, why don't we just take the pass along where the pivot was, and then we can move the pivot back to the stop. So back up here and then go grab this headland real quick. Watch out for that pivot behind us. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. We're getting close. All right, let's get over here. All right, idle down probably. Usually you want to idle down and then start the thrasher. Doesn't really work out too well on the whole combine when you start the thrasher at full throttle. Don't ask me how I know. Anyways, there we go. Nothing up there, good to go. Give her some full throttle. Don't hear any funny sounds, that's a good sign. Turn the head on. Everything seems to be functioning good. I don't know what that trash is over there, but we're gonna avoid that. Yeah, all right, definitely not gonna be breaking any yield records on this headland. Get a load of that, absolutely nothing. Foot tall and no heads on it. I don't even know why I'm bothered cutting that part. All right, we made it to the pivot point. Go ahead, idle down. We'll shut that off. Come out here and get this pivot moved out of the way. Let's see, 100% auto stop. Reverse. Shut that. Good to go. Alright you guys, we just finished our second field of sorghum. We still have one more field to go, and that's the third and final disaster field. But it's nighttime now, so we're gonna call it a night. Now the good thing is the rain has been pushed off till later in the evening tomorrow, so if everything goes right tomorrow with no breakdowns or trouble, then we should be able to finish that third and final field tomorrow. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Let's have a look under there. See if everything, yeah, it all looks pretty good. Got a little bit of trash in there, but that's all right. Get a load of these fava beans. It's like a massive leaf on these. Like I said, we've never grown these before. This is our first time. So we'll see how these turn out, but that's not what's important right now. What's important is we got this field of sorghum right here. This here is the disaster field, our third and final field. And you can tell we got some lamb's quarter out here. That's that darker weed. Then in the middle over there, we got water grass. And then up on the hill where the pivot doesn't water correctly, we got a bunch of sorghum that didn't even set seed because it didn't have enough water. So this field is going to be pretty interesting. Also, what happened, let's climb up here real quick. Oh, get in here. So, also what happened earlier this morning is it started to rain, and it rained a little bit. It rained enough to set us back a couple hours. So with that, it's actually 12:30 right now. We should be able to finish this field if there's no problems, and if it's dry enough that the combine doesn't plug up. I think it is, but we're about to find out. All right, here we go. Go ahead and turn on the thrasher right there. No warning lights. That's parking brake, that's all right. Everything sounds pretty good right now. Let's give her full throttle. And still everything is sounding good, so we'll turn on the head now. Alright, all that looks good. No funny sounds, no knives jumping off. The auger's turning like it should. Reel bats are all on, they're not flying off. That's a good sign. Let's go ahead and cut. Alright, put her in first. The parking brake. Shut that off right there. Okay, did any of you see that? I pressed down on the, to drop the head down, and the head just kept going down even though I stopped pressing this button. So is this switch bad, or do we have something else wrong with the combine? I don't really know, but let's see. Seems to be working for the most part. We're just gonna forget about that right now and just try and get all this sorghum cut. Let's stop right here and jump out and have a look at the back of the combine, see if there's anything plugging up in the back. And if there is, I would assume it is from too much moisture and too much water on the plants from the rain. But let's go have a look. Okay. Watch out for these. You do not want to land on that. All right. Go back in here. Oh wow, actually it looks pretty nice. Got some trash in here, but and this is a little bit plugged up. I thought it would be a lot worse, but this is actually not that bad. Alright, well I think we're just gonna keep cutting because I think we're able to. get a load of this part of the field. This is just terrible right here. We got just a whole bunch of water grass. It's literally taller than the sorghum out here, even though the sorghum is like not even 2 feet tall. Water grass just growing up above it. And then once we get out of the water grass right here, we're gonna get up on top of the hill right here, and there's gonna be no heads on the sorghum due to the pivot not watering the top of the hill here. This is why this is the disaster field. Look at this, absolutely nothing up here. I don't even know why I'm combining this right now. Alright, we ran into a little problem. We were going a little bit too fast and plugged the header right here. So let's go ahead and try and hit the reverse like that and turn on the head, and let's see if we can reverse this whole ordeal out of the combine. Okay, well, I mean, it was working. Let's try it again. All right, okay, shut it off. All right, let's try and go forward and full throttle. Let's see what happens now. Okay, stop. That just sounds terrible. Idle down. Let's try and reverse it out one more time. Hit that. And here we go. You gotta be kidding me, dude. I just don't know about that. Alright, here we go. Oh my goodness. We're gonna go one more time. This is it. I think it'll work this time. Oh gosh. Alright, this is just not working, so we gotta just shut the whole combine off, go out there and start pulling out the plug. I'll grab those. Oh, what a deal. What a deal. Literally right at the end of the row. Going a little bit too fast. Oh man. Alright, so I got some of it out, as you can see right there. I don't know if that's enough, but you know what? We're gonna try. I'm sick of pulling that stuff out. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Oh, look at that. It's going slowly. Okay, let's go out there and grab that chunk of material right down there. Yeah, just roped up, wet stalks. The combine is off, by the way.
So we're just learning now from state police that somebody has died. This incident involving a large piece of farming equipment.
All right, that's plenty. That is plenty enough. Okay, so we are getting it slowly but surely. Let's grab that chunk of material right there and get it out. What a deal, huh? We're gonna slow it down so we don't have to do this again. Oh, jeez. Where did this even come from? Holy cow, I think we got it. It ran in reverse just fine with no slip clutch, so let's go in forward, full throttle. I think this is gonna do it.
Let's all start clapping.
Oh my goodness, we got it. We got it. All right, enough of that. We're gonna slow it down in the bottom here where it's a little thicker so that we don't have to go through this horrible process anymore today. Once is definitely enough. Let's get back in here. I don't even know what I'm doing out there, and then the chaffing noise. We can look at it from in the cab here. How about that?